has a story to claim. Sit back, listen to conversation between Terry Lynn and new authors on the rise, and let the journey begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors. On this episode, I'm talking with my friend who is a children's book author, Joanna Szeto. Her first book is a trilingual picture book called When Chicken and Duck Talk. Welcome, Joanna.
Thank you, Terry, for having me.
Please tell us about your writing and your first book.
This is my first trilingual picture book written in Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. So there's a Chinese idiom that literally translates to chicken talks to duck, meaning that the two people don't understand each other because they're speaking different languages. So that's why my Chinese title is Gai Tong Ap Gong, which is, we translate it to When Chicken Talks to Duck. And it shows that different people can speak different languages and still be friends.
Wow, what a creative and heartwarming idea for a picture book. I love that Chinese expression, chicken talks to duck, meaning that two people don't understand each other because they speak different languages. And I appreciate how you turned it into a story that celebrates friendship and understanding across languages. Such a powerful reminder that even if we speak differently, we can still connect, play, and build strong relationships. It's also a wonderful way to introduce kids to Cantonese, Mandarin, and English all at once. What inspired you to write children's books?
I've always wanted to write stories since elementary school, which is why when I graduated from UC Davis, I got it in a BA in creative writing. But then since I became a teacher, it was like more of an inspiration by writing to all my students. And then what I would do is I would take my students' names and stick them in my stories so that they could literally see themselves in the stories that they read.
I love that you write stories for your students and include them in the stories. What was it like seeing your story come to life through illustrations?
When Ray Ann Lee, my illustrator, first showed me the drawings for Chicken and Duck, I was so excited. It looked exactly like what I imagined it. And in the story, there's actually one other bird in there, but we started it off as an ostrich and then it changed into a different bird that you will see when you get the book and read it.
Yeah, when you see your characters come to life just as you imagine them is an incredible experience. And Ray and Lee did a beautiful job capturing your vision of Chicken and Duck. What challenges have you faced as a new author, especially when it comes to publishing or marketing your book?
Biggest challenge was finding a publisher. All the publishers told me there wasn't a market for my book. Nobody wanted to buy a book with Cantonese and Mandarin. That's why I'm self-publishing my book with the help of Kickstarter. And I feel like my book is important and that people will want to buy it.
I'm glad that you didn't take no for an answer. Self-publishing is a great option when we can't find a publisher for our books. Tell us more about your Kickstarter campaign. What are you raising funds for, and how can people support you?
So the Kickstarter is live right now and will run for 45 days until September 4th. I've already paid for illustrations, editing, cover, and interior design. So all you would be supporting is paying for the printing and shipping of the books. And you can support me by buying a copy of the book on Kickstarter.
What would it mean to you personally if your Kickstarter campaign reached its goal?
It would mean that I can help children appreciate being multilingual. So at school, sometimes the parents will come to school and they tell their kids, oh, they're here to learn English. And then they don't appreciate their own home language. So my husband's family speaks Mandarin and Japanese, and my family speaks Cantonese. So I want my kids to learn both languages. I don't want them to have to choose one or the other.
That's a good reason to learn a different language, to be able to talk with people who speak different languages. What do you want parents and educators to know about your book and your mission?
To know that multilingualism is important. All native languages are important and unique, and learning native languages can also be fun. So it shouldn't just be rote memorization. It can reading, just like reading a picture book, it should just be fun.
I agree with you that multilingualism is important, and learning a new language can be fun. Are there any books or authors that inspired your writing style or love for storytelling?
I really love Mo Williams, his Piggy and Gerald books, and that's kind of what When Chicken and Duck Talk is inspired by. I wrote it kind of like a easy reader.
I'm not familiar with Mo Willems, but now I'm curious to check out his work, especially if it helped inspire When Chicken and Duck Talk. It's always interesting to learn what influences an author's style of writing. What age group do you write for, and what draws you to that specific audience?
I write for children ages 5 to 12. I tend to write funny picture books for the younger kids. And then for the older kids, I do older picture books and chapter books about identity, STEAM, and the environment. And I tend to do upper or up to middle grade because I teach fourth grade. And I'm usually inspired to write my stories based on what my students do in class.
Yeah, writing for ages 5 to 12 gives us such a great range to explore both humor and meaningful topics. Wow, how special that your students inspire your stories. What do you think makes a children's book truly memorable?
I think unique characters that kids can relate to make books unforgettable. And the other thing is having a character that you can relate to. So if I read a book and it's about a Chinese girl, then I probably like it even more because I can put myself in that position.
That's a good point that unique characters that kids can relate to make books unforgettable. We're both part of the Children's Book Mastery program. Would you like to share your experience with it? What do you think people should know about it?
I started first with the Picture Book Mastery Bootcamp before I joined the Children's Book Mastery Author Coaching Program, and I finished my manuscript in 3 days. Usually it takes me forever, but it was having someone who believed in me and my writing was able to get that far. And after joining the coaching program, that was what made me try to self-publish my picture book. The best part of the program, I think, is boot camps and having a community. So everyone's supporting you in what you're doing.
Yeah, all of Karan's boot camps are awesome. Do you have any advice for other aspiring authors who are just starting out, especially in children's literature?
Finding your community is the most important. Writing is always difficult, but you want writers who share your passion. So write, revise, submit, and then don't ever give up.
I agree. Find writing partners and never give up. If a child came up to you and said, I want to write a book too, what would you say to encourage them?
I would say write it and then share it. So there's actually many publications that accept kids' work. There's also writing contests for kids. And in my class, I actually have all my students write a story and we actually publish it and do a class book.
That's excellent advice for kids. What exciting projects or books are you working on next?
I'm currently working on a chapter book about the environment, a picture book about a water bottle, and then the second book for my Chicken and Duck Talk series.
Those sound cute books too. I know your story about a water bottle is really cute. Where can people find you online, follow your journey, or contribute to your Kickstarter campaign?
Readers can learn more about my books and me at joannaszetowrites.com, and then they can find my Kickstarter campaign by searching up Chinese picture book.
Thank you, Joanna, for your information. I will put the link to your website and to your Kickstarter campaign in this episode's notes below.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna, for talking with me on my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors on the Rise.
Thank you for having me. It was fun sharing my thoughts about writing.
Okay, my listeners, tune in next week when I talk with my friend who's a children's book author, Diane Klein, and find out who asked her to write a children's picture book. Until then, happy reading with your kiddos.